you guys, I'm going to be doing a Puffy paint review today. So for this you'll need glue, as well as shaving cream and food coloring. You only need to use the food coloring that you would like. So if you want just red, only make red puffy paint. You may need scissors, as well as you may need Ziploc baggies to make piping, if you choose to do that. You will need a measuring spoon because you want to do equal parts of the glue and the shaving cream. Here's the little spatula to scrape out your measuring spoon. Unless you want to get your finger dirty and scoop it out with your fingers. There's a whisk that I might need. I'm going to put that aside just in case. As well as I'm going to put a fork aside just in case. I'm not sure how to mix this. I've never done this before. And a spoon to mix just in case, or for scraping tool. Either way. Here is one bowl and the blue food coloring that I have chosen, as well as I am going to pick another food coloring choice. I want two colors, so here's my second bowl with the, it looks like pink, but it actually is gonna turn out to be a purple color. Not pink after all. Here's all of my, everything I need. So here's my measuring spoon. I'm going to put equal parts. So there's some shaving cream, gonna put that aside. Pick up my glue. I'm gonna do equal parts, so here goes. I'm gonna fill this up. Oh, it's kind of hard to squish out. I need to put it down and use two hands. Almost, I'm almost at the top of that. It's gonna be a little bit harder. Who knew squishing out glue was gonna be so hard? Not me. So I'm gonna pour that in, shaking that up. Twisting the lid off. Here I go. I might be adding color in a minute. Actually, the glue's not coming out. I almost used my finger, but I'm actually gonna go in for that little mixing spoon, little spatula, because I really don't want a gluey finger quite yet. It's still early in the project. So here's the blue. I'm showing you I took off the cap, which I had already done. And I'm mixing that up. I'm gonna put that aside and just mix. You wanna be sure and mix it thoroughly, around and around. I'm not sure what would happen if you don't mix up the glue and the shaving cream properly. I'm not sure. So after you mix this up, that's when you would pour it into or scrape it into your Ziploc baggie if you want to do the piping effect. I'm going to actually do just the painting and see how that goes today. So I'm not going to actually put it into the Ziploc baggie that I showed you earlier. So I'm mixing, just making sure it's nice and thorough, mixing it up. And I'm just scraping it all into the middle. You don't necessarily need to do this, but I felt the need to do that. I'm not sure why, but I did. I'm gonna wipe this spatula off because I do wanna use it for the next color, and I don't necessarily wanna get up, and I don't have another little spatula that size. The next size up I have is huge. So here's my next bowl coming up, and I'm gonna do the same thing, equal amounts. Except that one went a little crazy, so I'm trying to scoop it up. See, how much is that exactly? So I can try to do the same amount of glue. So I did learn the first time, put that thing down to use two hands to get glue, because squishing on a glue bottle is very hard. Okay, I guess for these old lady fingers it's hard. Maybe not for your young fingers. But for mine, I needed two hands. So I am using two hands to squish the glue. And I'm gonna go ahead and pour that in, scrape it out with my little spatula. Make sure I get it all. Set that aside. Here is my purple, taking off the lid. I'm gonna put the blue lid on because I don't wanna spill that on accident. That would be a mess and horrible. All right, here comes my purple. It looks so pretty, right? And then it turns out to be so light. So that's really too light for me. I really wanted it deeper than that. So I'm gonna mix it up and I'm gonna add some more in on that because I did want it a deeper purple than that light lavender. That was very pretty, but that's not what I was going for. So I'm just mixing it up, making sure thoroughly that I get it all. Don't forget, you would you would pour this into your Ziploc baggie if you wanted to do the piping effect. I'm not sure what age group the piping effect would be good for. You would need to monitor that with your own children. You know, would a 5-year-old be capable of doing that, or a 7-year-old or 8? So putting that lid on once again, because I don't want to spill the purple food coloring as well. So I'm moving everything off so I can get to painting and let you guys know what I think about the puffy paint. Here comes my canvas paper. I am going to tape that down. I already taped it down actually. I'm gonna sketch out a jellyfish. This is my first time my whole life ever trying to draw a jellyfish or paint a jellyfish, so bear with me. It may look very juvenile, but that's okay because I'm trying out a juvenile thing, which is puffy paint. So here I go. I did notice while painting with, that's tentacles by the way, it's supposed to be tentacles. While painting with the puffy paint and you actually use the paintbrush as it's supposed to be intended, that is sticky by the way, so don't get too much on your hands. It does make it very flat and my little paintbrush is shedding pieces of it, so I'm trying to get that off. So if you want the puffy effect, I would not necessarily do paint. I'm using acrylic black here to give it some more definition and color and outline. Like I said, this is my first time ever doing a jellyfish, so definitely bear with me. Here I go for some purple. Now on this purple, I'm not actually painting, I'm kind of dragging and letting it drop off my paintbrush very lightly. That's where you would get the puffy effect. So don't actually paint with it, you kind of just let it drip off the edge and kind of guide it to where you want it to go. It looks like I'm painting, but I'm really not. I'm just letting it dribble off gently, and then that makes the puffy effect. So going up and down, and I'm gonna make some dots for some more puffy effect, and those dots, like I said, are just dropping off. I'm not painting them on. And that is the end of my paintbrush, by the way, not the part with the bristles. I'm using this black, I'm trying to make a splatter paint type, just give it some more color and detail and more character. This is not splattering very well. That is why I'm changing paintbrushes. And I'm gonna go get some water to hopefully, there's the water, to make the black a little looser or more watery so I can do the splatter effect much better and easier. And it looks like it's working out pretty good. I'm trying to see, can I use that purple in that? No, I can't. I can't use that, it's too thick. Maybe if I added some water to it, but I did not do that. Here I am going in for some metallic blue just to add some more color to my artwork. And as well, I'm gonna do the splatter effect. It is already pretty liquidy, so I don't need to add some of the water to it. As I was doing this, I did notice that I got some on the white wall behind me, which was stressful. So I'm adding in some color onto the black to make it not so necessarily bold. And I'm showing you that that stuff is pretty thick. As it's, oh, I cleaned out my bowls. The food coloring did not stain my bowls, which is really great. I was pretty concerned about that. So that is 100% clean. Yay for that. Because those are actually my eating bowls from the kitchen. I'm gonna clear off my workstation. Oh, right there, those are the 2 acrylics I used just for extra detail on my artwork that I did splattering. So if you want it to be puffy paint, okay, remember I told you I got it on the white wall? I used these 2 ingredients, rubbing alcohol and Dawn. I put it in a little shaker bottle right there to spray the wall and clean up the polka dots that I accidentally got on the wall when I did like kind of the splatter paint type thing. So I'm just gonna rub that off and it came right off, no problem. So if you wanna make that little mixture at home, that's really helpful for getting stains off walls. Here's my complete project. It does make it puffy only if you kind of dribble it. So do not use the paintbrush side so much if you want it to be puffy. See, that makes it 3D, kind of like a 3D effect. It looks really nice, it's pretty cool. It's definitely different. How do you like my first jellyfish ever in my whole life? I think it's pretty cool, and I do like the puffy effect with the homemade puffy paint that I made all by myself. Never done that before as well. Today's a new day. I am cleaning up my mat with the homemade mixture that I showed you from before. Thanks so much for watching my video, guys. Have an awesome